Thanks for joining me today to do simple, easy over 50 makeup. My name's Camille. I'm relatively new on YouTube. So here I am on YouTube. Wow, that was a great start, wasn't it? So today we're doing super simple makeup. I'm starting out with some skincare and SPF in the same tube. So I'll put the list of all the products that I'm using on the video when I'm done. This is the Revision Skincare IntelliShade in Clear. And this one is really nice because it's got an SPF 50 and it's literally got skincare in it. So it feels great on. It's very light. You can feel it on, so it's not one of those super lights. Hello from Louisiana. Hi from Alabama. Oh boy, you understand heat there. Whew. We are so hot in the US right now. It's crazy. Crazy hot. We have an above ground pool. We've had it for a couple of years. I'm dying to upgrade to a better pool, but it is so hot, like you can't even get in the pool. So if you're that hot, give me some kind of hot emoji, because dang, I understand. And it's kind of funny because my husband and I are always, in the beginning of the year, the joke is that I won't get in the pool until it's 90 degrees outside because the water's too cold. And then once it's over 90 degrees, it's too hot. So either way. Vermont. Oh no, I'm sorry. Be careful in those tornadoes. We get tornadoes too. Those are so scary. I didn't grow up with tornadoes. Did you? Tornadoes just kind of really, I didn't grow up being afraid of the weather at all. Maybe because my dad was a weatherman, but we just didn't live anywhere where it was really scary, I guess. And now I feel like, living in Alabama, man. Los Angeles, but in the high desert, so 100 plus. Wow. It's just, I know it's summertime and we're supposed to expect this, but dang, it is just hot. And I've gotten to the point where I just kind of run from the air conditioning to the car air conditioning. And I'm a sunscreen fanatic, so anymore, I get in the car and I'm spraying my arms with sunscreen to make sure, I don't get any more damage on them, and wearing a hat. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so we're doing simple today. I like simple. Simple is my go-to every day, pretty much. And so now that I've got my skincare and my SPF started, I'm going to go just grab a little bit. And I usually put too much on. When I mean a little bit, I mean like a pea-sized amount of my BB cream. This is a BB cream in medium. And if you're not familiar with BB creams, it's short for beauty balm. So beauty balms are really nice because they add a little extra moisture and usually some kind of skincare to your skin as well. So I'm just going to use my foundation brush and work it in there really well. And then I always start out in the middle of my face. I'm only looking for a little bit of coverage. Like I said, this is like an everyday look, which is what most people, are gonna do. It's fun to do the dramatic looks, but come on now, we have to be real for every day. So let's see. We're in the, oh, okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. So it's fun to see that you guys can ask each other questions at the same time. So see, that's just a tiny little bit. And you notice I didn't even put on a primer today. So I'm just going to let my skincare be a little bit of a primer for me, and I'm not going to worry about it. But really the only place that I worry about priming is really my nose, where I have larger pores, and right in here. And then sometimes in my wrinkles. So if you're like that, if you only prime certain areas, give me a thumbs up or something. Or let me know where you love your primer to be. So I usually live in a primer. And I'm definitely going to use one on my eyes because no matter what, it seems like with these kind of hooded, I have hooded and crepey eyes, so I have to use a little bit of something on there to keep everything in place. This one is just a new one by Revlon I'm trying out. I don't have an absolute favorite eye primer, so Santa Clarita. That reminds me of that Santa Clarita Diet. That was such a funny show if you haven't seen it. This one is Revlon Color Stay Eyeshadow Primer Base. So it has just a tiny bit of color. And if I miss your comment, I will go back and see it. Just a little bit of color. Some of the primers are really fun. You know, if you're going to do more vibrant colors, it's nice to have one that's got a base color in it that hides like the blue and red colors that come through on your lids as you get older. But if you're not really worried about vibrant colors, then it doesn't really matter. So, and I do have to put glasses on to see, and then I have to figure out how to see the comments. Chat. Live chat. Oh, there we go. Okay. Santa Clarita. Primer on eyes and lips for sure. Yes, absolutely. And does anybody else use their eye primer around their mouth? Because I find that the eye primer is really, really nice for helping with those little fine lines. So all you do, I'm going to go ahead and do it now because it is an extra step, but you just put it around the mouth. Because what those eye primers do is they hold your makeup in place and they also control the oils in your skin. So if you really are wanting to keep your lipstick in place, try your eye primer there, as well as on your nose. I know it sounds funny, but if your nose is an oil slick, try a little eye primer on there, and then your makeup goes over it. Works like a charm. So I'm going to do a simple lip. And then, I've got a mirror over here, and then I've got you, and then I've got a mirror behind to make sure that I can see from every angle. And the mirror that I'm using is really, really dirty, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, and hopefully it won't glare in your face. But it is a magnifying mirror. So I'm not going to show you too much because I don't want it to glare. But it's a magnifying mirror because, you know, if you wear glasses, how are you going to see? You can't see. To put on makeup up close and make it look good, you have to have something that's magnifying. So I'm just going to go around a little bit. And I started doing this when my mouth started to be downturned. So when I rest my jaw, my mouth looks like this. When I'm sitting there staring at my computer, I look like I have a scowl. So I noticed that if I bring my liner in a little bit at the edge right here, bring it on the inside of my lip, and I do the same on the bottom, instead of going all the way to the corner, that it helps cut off that kind of scowlish look on my face, and it doesn't give me a full smile, but it does help a little bit. I'm just going to give that a quick... I don't think I'm going to overline today. I might overline just a little bit. Sometimes when I overline, I just overline like where I feel like I need a little extra plumping. So I'm not going to overline this bottom lip, just a little bit up here. Just a tiny bit. And I've got this new machine that I was just sent that I'm really hoping is going to give me some plump top lip, some more plumpage up there. I'm going to be posting a short video about that, probably starting tomorrow. And then I'm just going to cover with this really inexpensive lipstick that I got from Wet n Wild. You'd be amazed if you haven't been shopping at the drugstore lately. Wet and Wild, like it's a brand that we used when we were kids, and they have really stepped up their game. And I think everybody has like those makeup items that they don't care if they're very expensive. And then you have that one thing that you're like, okay, I'm getting the best there is. And for me, that's always going to be like a skincare item and any a foundation and then a setting spray. So I'm all about my setting sprays. But when it comes to lipstick, I can wear pretty much any kind. I'm not super particular. All right, no, doesn't have to be perfect. There's that. Now I had a question here. Let me see if I can read what it said. This is more fun with questions for me because it allows me to just go through and sort of help where I can. If I can figure out what button to okay, there we go. What's my favorite makeup remover for mascara and waterproof mascara? Okay. Yes. Hi from Australia. Okay. So the question was, what's your favorite makeup remover for mascara and waterproof mascara? Favorite makeup remover is this. Let me see if I can get rid of it. No. Oh my gosh. I need to learn my buttons. So I have a couple. I love a waterproof makeup remover, micellar water. They have them. Now this one's one that I have here. It's by Pharmacy. But there's also like Garnier has gigantic bottles. And that's pretty much a brand you can get, anywhere. So Garnier has them. But waterproof makeup remover micellar water. So if you just look for micellar water, I think it's spelled Micellar. And I'll put it in the comments as well. I'll put a link to a couple of my favorites, but the micellar waters are really gentle and they pull dirt out of your face. Some kind of micelles, I think they're called micelles, some kind of magical thing that pulls dirt out of your skin, and you don't have to rinse most of them off. So, and they're very gentle, so I really like that a lot. And then I do have a couple of favorite brands I'll put in there. All right, so let's see, what are we doing? We got a tiny bit of makeup on. I'm going to use a little bit of finishing powder on my nose because I'm seeing pores and I've got a little bit of shine, probably because I'm melting here in Alabama, okay? I'm melting! So this is a translucent powder, and if you're not familiar with the translucent powders, they're kind of see-through, right? But they offer some blurring wherever you need blurring. So they don't appear to be drying, because I know, when you get older, that seems to be an issue. Because I can go right up in this area. I never go under my eyes, though. That's the no-no with even the translucent powders. And this one is really, really fine. So it just blurs out things and makes them look happier. I'm not going to say younger. I'm going to say happier. Okay, so there's a good one. I'll put this in the description as well. But the one that I usually use is the one by It Cosmetics. It's a little bit more, but it lasts forever. It's the Bye Bye Pores, and it's very, very light. So I'll put that in the description too. Now I'm going to use my really, really El Cheapo palette for my eyes. Okay, this is an all matte palette. And I think it's like $12. So and you can see where I've really worked in some of the colors a lot and really like it. So, let's see what my comment is. Hi, first time seeing you live, and I'm glad I recently found your channel on YouTube, and it went away. It goes away too quickly. Found your channel on YouTube here in Seattle. Seattle, hey! Well, I'm glad you're here. Glad you found the channel. Glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I never thought I would be on YouTube because many of you know that I started over on TikTok. And some of you may be here from TikTok. I'm not sure. But I started over there, and I've got a little over 100,000 followers. And, you know, it's been a lot of fun over there at Short Form Content. I'm looking for a brush. I don't talk and work well. But anyway, long story short, I just need to find a brush. I didn't think there was, I don't know, I guess I watched a video one time and it said something like, you know, there's no point in getting on YouTube because everybody's there that's ever going to be there, and you know, don't even try, don't even go there. So I thought, well, I'm not even going to go there. What an idiot. I should have never listened to that. So I'm just going to use this pink right here. And you guys got to tell me when the comments appear, can you see them too, or is it just me? Because I am new, I'm still learning. Hello from Houston. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you guys got to tell me, can you see the comments when they appear too, or no? So I'm just using that pink right there. And I'm just going to go over both my lids really quickly with that. It's so light. Very, very light. All right, and then I'm going to just use this gray, the gray that's right next to it. I like this palette because everything's a matte, so I didn't have to worry about buying shimmers that I didn't want, because I have tons of those, right? They come in every palette you buy. I'm just going to tap this right above where most people's crease would be. I have a hooded eye, so when I put in the color, so you see the comments too. Thank you for answering, because I'm still very lost, very, very lost. So for me, since I've got hooded eyes, when I look directly ahead in the mirror, which is me looking right about there, I need to be able to see color over top here. So if you don't have a hooded eye, then you'd put this in the crease of your eye. But since I have no real crease, I have to put it up there, because what you're doing really with a hooded eye is you're making a fake crease. Hooded eyes come with their own issues, but I still think they're beautiful. Never complained about my hooded eyes. And I didn't even realize until I was much older that I actually had a different shaped eye than other people. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tap this. I'm going to work it right through the tail of my eyebrow. And if you saw my video on this the other day, what this does is it just kind of gives you a little bit of a lifted look. And I said I was going to keep it simple, but maybe I lied. I don't know. But I like to just kind of tap it in, because if I drag it, my skin is so thin and crepey that it's just going to miss part of my skin and it's going to skip. So I've got to pat it in place to get it through any little fine lines there, and I kind of sweep it like through there. So you can kind of tell from this eye to this eye now, even though I haven't blended it out, that there's a little bit of a lift. But for my eye shape, I want the lift to be in this area up here, because if I try to lift from the corner down here, it's going to swoop down and look like a giant bat wing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to pat in all my color, and then I'll blend. And I'm probably going to add a little bit more depth than this. I'm just going to go straight on through my eyebrow, because it's so thin anyway, it doesn't even matter. Nobody's going to know this is there. It's like those videos where they're like, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. Trust me, they're not going to know. Just blend it. Make sure you have it going in the same direction on both of your eyes. So this one is in this direction. This one I had going a little bit too high. So make sure it's going in the same direction. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to go for a darker gray. It's kind of like a brownie gray. Put it right in here. And I can see somebody popped up on the screen. I will answer you in just a sec. Let me get on all this. And my makeup always looks like crud until the last minute. So if you're thinking, wow, this lady looks crazy, you may be right, but my makeup's going to look good at the end, okay? Just going to tap it in here. Now, I like to come in a little closer here because with that hooded eye, I have all this like extra fat right here. So I like to come in right in there to sort of make that recede. But if you don't have that, then you probably won't want to do that. So if your eyes are more hollow, that would be the last thing you'd want to do. So just tapping it in. Okay, and I'm going to go in with a clean brush, but first I'm going to look and see what we have here. So, okay, I use the Australian brand of mineral cosmetics called Adorn. I have never really liked mineral cosmetics until I tried their products. What are your thoughts on mineral cosmetics? Love your channel. Thank you. My thoughts on mineral cosmetics is I love them. I love them. I have only used one brand, and I cannot think of the name of it off the top of my head. I've never heard of Adorn, though. I may check them out. I've been tempted to do that technique. Yeah, give it a try. If you're going to try a new technique, definitely try it on a day when you don't have to be anywhere. So, Bare Minerals. Bare Minerals is the brand that I've tried. Yeah, if you're going to play in the makeup and try something new, always make sure you're not going to have to be anywhere special because it usually takes a time or two. And then you don't want to go somewhere looking stupid or feeling bad because you messed it up. Makeup is kind of like art. You have to practice, even if it's just a little bit. So I just have a clean brush here, and your daughter is Maisie. Okay. Hi. Alrighty. So with my clean brush, I'm just going to blend that really quickly in. I don't worry about this area here because I'm going to clean that up on my way when I'm finished. And that's pretty much it for an everyday quickie look. Now I couldn't find my brow powder. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Because I'm telling you right now, if you have something like this, you can use it as your brow powder as well. So, but since it's so hot, we're going to use the LSE brow powder because it is very, very waterproof and smudge proof. Nope. I am familiar with Bare Minerals. It's a good brand. Yes. I think it's a really good brand. I think that for me, it dries me out a little bit to wear it all over my face. But did you know this, that when you have a product like Bare Minerals, you're actually supposed to set that stuff as well. And the way that you set it is with a mist. You have to have a hydrating mist, and it actually sets it in place, and then it doesn't look so dry and cakey. And that's probably the only reason that I don't use Bare Minerals on a more regular basis. I've gotten to where I'll use it. I think I've got mine right here. Let me see. This is a Bare Minerals something or other. Bare Minerals Original Medium Beige. I guess it's just a foundation. But I've gotten to where I'll just use this like on my nose because it can dry you out a little bit. So just using it on my nose, it gives me a really nice color. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful on. But you do need to set it with something. It's actually gorgeous. It's actually gorgeous on my nose. Not a lot is gorgeous on my nose. But it's beautiful. And the mineral veil is really, really nice. But I don't like it around the eyes, and I don't care for their concealers. So concealers are just one of those things. Everybody's different. Everybody likes something different, and so you're not ever going to make everyone happy. Now if I can find a brush for my eyebrows, we're good to go. I'm just going to do my super easy fast eyebrow. You've learned a lot from my short videos. You're 50. Awesome. I'm 55. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I have to, it takes a while, I think, to get to know people when they're posting videos because you have to wait a while, find out, everything that they do, figure out what their sense of humor is, and I try to get it all out there. And for me, I love, 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 love to teach, but I like to have the time to be creative, to just do something that feels like uniquely me, and it's like scratching an itch, I guess. Just kind of helps me get the creativity out. If you don't get the creativity out and you're a creative type, you go mad. Or you make other people mad, I think. Now I'm just using my brow powder, trying not to shine other than your eyes. This is the one in Stone Gray by LSE. It's my go-to brow powder. The best. I love it because they have it in a grayish color. And I also love it because it is a waterproof product. Which, have you ever seen a waterproof brow powder before? Because I've never seen one. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's got one, but I have not seen a waterproof brow powder. And it's hard to find them in gray too, so companies really need to step up their colors for us, because not everybody can wear a dark brown or, even the blonde colors. I don't think blonde colors look well on a lot of blondes either. They're too orangey. So if you have a great brow powder, stick it in the comments. I'm always on the lookout for something else to share with people. So I'm not being too meticulous here. Just trying to get it on. You do have to apply quite a bit of it, which is what I like because it's also very light. So when you first try this, if you decide you're going to get it, you need to give it a try on your wrist and see how it goes on. That's why I use a bigger brush. It diffuses the color, and that way it's more natural looking when I'm done. But it doesn't go on really harshly like a lot of brow powders will. So that's that. Got that on. Now all I have to do is clean it up. So I'm going to grab a little concealer and clean and see what we have for comments here. I'm kind of slow on this comment thing. Okay, so yes, their lip glosses are good. Absolutely. Bare Minerals, yeah, Bare Minerals lip glosses are good. Absolutely. It's also wonderful that you use your real voice. So many YouTubers whisper and use a baby voice. Well, I think that takes a while too. I'm not like the great public speaker, for sure. And there's a huge difference between making a video and editing it, whether you're using your real voice or not, and then doing a live video. So I decided that it would be fun to do as many lives as I can, because it gives me a chance to answer questions right away, so you're not like waiting forever and trying to figure out if I ever answered whatever you ask. And I try to always answer everything. I need that. But so if I don't answer something, it's probably because I've lost the comment somehow, because it's definitely not my style to not answer. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of concealer and get this cleaned up looking. I don't pluck anymore, and if I do anything, I'm gonna use one of those little tinkle razors to clean up little things down here. But my eyebrows are so light, there's not really much point in doing that. So I do that, and then on top I'm just gonna use a Q-tip and a little bit of that micellar water. You have to give it a little shake. A little shake. Q-tip. And then on top I'm just gonna clean up with that. And then if anything looks like it's out of shape, I can just shape it up really quickly. Now, when I'm not talking, I can do this really, really fast. But I'm practicing on talking and walking and chewing gum at the same time. Just for you, okay? Just for you. All right, I think those are looking pretty even. So, do they look even? Tell me. Because I swear, when I look at them, I think, oh, those are even. And then if I take a screenshot, I'm like, oh my gosh, my eyebrows are crooked. So, if you don't have any eyebrows and you're just learning how to put on your brows, I think the best thing to do is put them on and then take a selfie and just see where you need to adjust things, because you'd be amazed at how crooked things can be and you don't even know it. And then you go out like that and you're like, oh my God, nobody told me that my eyebrows are crooked and I look like crazy. All right, now I'm going to do one more step on these. I'm just going to use a little eyebrow gel or brow mascara. You know, people call them two different things. So sometimes they're sold as brow mascaras, sometimes eyebrow gels. And I like this because one of the reasons I don't pluck is because when you pluck or wax, you get rid of all those little tiny hairs. And then when you go in to try and make it look more realistic, in my case, you don't have anything there to grab onto. So, unless you're just blessed with some big, gorgeous, bushy brows, I recommend using those little shavers to shape your brows with. Because then, even if you mess up, it'll grow back. A couple weeks, everything will be fixed. All right. And if I spend any time at all on my makeup, it's going to be on my brows probably. Because the better they look, the better I look. And then I think all we have to do left is cleaning up my under eyes. And I'm going to show you how I do that so it's not all cakey. But first I'm going to apply some mascara. Little mascara. And I'm going to use this mascara they sent me. It's by Prime Lash, okay? I like it. I'm a little disappointed that they did not offer me an opportunity to earn some money from it myself, but they did give you guys 10% off. So I will put that code, if anybody wants it, into the description. So this is like the best mascara. It's so good. It is so good. So, which is really why I'm mad at them. I'm mad because I thought, golly, you know, I am not a super salesy person. And when you find that one product that you're like, wow, I could really sell a snot out of this because it's really good. And then they don't even say, yeah, you're like, so what if you could sell the snot out of it? But I'm telling you, I think it's 20 bucks. 20 bucks. So, and I think their thing is 10% off. So if I forget, make sure you ask about it. I'll remember. I will remember. It's just nice and thin, and then it gives you some nice lift. You can get in there and do a lot better than me. I don't have much for lashes. Sorry for my little rant. But you know, we're right here. We're right here being girlfriends, so I may as well talk to you. How better to get to know each other than to talk, right? So, just do light. But this is this is not a waterproof mascara. It is a water resistant mascara. And for my little short lashes, it didn't do bad. And you can go in and do a lot more with this. A lot heavier look if you like. But like I said, this is just kind of my everyday look. And I think I'm going to go ahead and go under. I forgot to take a little bit of that shadow and go under my eyes. I like to do it just a little bit under my eyes with a little smudgy brush. And I'm probably just going to take this color right there. Just not too dark, not too light. I always try it on my hand first. That's what my hands always look. Yeah, so that's not too bad. Take a little bit of that, and I'm just going to go right under. Now remember, I don't have any makeup on under my eyes, so I still have not cleaned that up. So I like that. I like that like that. Not everybody can do that. You know, sometimes you feel like it's dragging your eye down a little bit too much. You don't have to do it as dark or as wide. I like to do mine a little bit wider because I feel like it elongates my eye a little bit when I drag it out. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit over top as well to blend that in. And then when I clean it up, it's going to look just pretty. So I'm in North Alabama. I know some of you have told me where you are. Where are you from? If you haven't told me, where are you from? Okay. That'll work. That'll work. This is another reason I don't clean up under my eyes until the very last minute, because I want to make sure that I get everything where I want it, and then I'll take a little bit of my concealer on a clean area on my hand. Clean area of my hand, if there is one left. And then I'll either mix it with a little bit of my primer. In this case, I'm going to mix it with a little bit of my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now, if you don't have that in your arsenal, you need to get it. It is, it's really, really light. It provides a little bit of blurring. It's inexpensive, and it works for all skin types, except for oily. But if you're using it around your eyes, it's probably not going to matter. Okay, let me see what we got here. Okay, also, okay. What cream do you like for dark spots? Oh, thank you. Let's see, Southern California, just north of Palm Springs. All right, Southwest Pennsylvania. All right. I used to live in Pennsylvania and in California. Love both of those states. So the cream for dark spots. So I think you mean a color corrector. Now I'm playing around with some new color correctors, but I like this one by Jane Iredale. They've got a lot of, they're highly pigmented, but honestly, the problem with color correctors is that they are usually cream-based and they're so heavy. But I have a new one I'm trying. It's a color corrector by Saint. There's something special about it. I think it has more wax than normal. So, like when you put on the cream-based ones, let me see if I missed a comment here. When you put on the cream-based ones, the problem is that they can, get stuck in all your creases if you don't use the right kind of setting powder with them. So I'm starting to shy away from those, even though they're very good for color correcting. I'm starting to shy away from those. So the Saint ones are really working well, and they seem to stay in place better. And I think, like I said, it's just because they have more wax in them. So I'm always on the look for things like that. So I'll have to do more on that for you. So my eyebrows are soft black. I use a smoky eyeshadow because they're thin. I've never used the gel or wax. Is one better than the other? Okay, your eyebrows are soft black. So the wax for brows is really great for holding them in place. So if you have really, really thick brows, or they're unruly and you just want them to stay in place, a brow wax is really, really great. And then if you need to add more color, but they're not really sparse brows, I think the easiest thing to do is get a brow mascara, because it will provide a little bit of stiffness to hold them in place, but it will also color them as well. I hope that answered your question. Then I'm going to go in, this is usually my final step, and I put a little bit of concealer here. Now this is that concealer that's mixed with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And then I go in here and I'll swoop that up into my temple. Now I've got a big puffy bag here that I did nothing about today, so instead of highlighting it, I'm going to just come below it and try to fake it out a little bit. That is my very intelligent speak. Now when I blend this out, when I get to that eyeshadow, I kind of take it over a little bit, because things do not look good on me if they're a harsh straight line. So I just kind of tap it over a little bit and then tap it in here. If I can get my big old finger in there. And then the discoloration, I'll just hit that. I'm not too worried about things like that on a normal basis. And then if I need to do any cleaning up here or sharpening or defining, I'll just come right up here. Very, very lightly. Again, I'm not adding any bulk to the bag. I'll highlight down here. Add a little bit of highlighting here to brighten. And same over here. If I can find that color corrector, I'll pull it out here in a second and show you how it works on my face. I've just played with it once, and I noticed that you didn't have to use anything to set it. I don't know if it's going to be like that every time, but I do know that you use just a tiny little amount when you're doing color correcting. And if you have a color corrector already, what you want to do is use the color corrector, and then once you get it on the area that you're trying to color correct, then you want to let it dry and then go back and tap a little bit of concealer over it, because color corrector is not really usually supposed to be placed on there and just left alone. Otherwise you'll see green or peach or whatever color it is. Now the colors that I'm going to show you, if I can pull them out quickly, is not like that at all. So it's meant to just color correct and then you're done. And let me stop right there. I did not put anything on my cheeks. Nothing went on my cheeks. I'm just going to use a little bit of my lipstick that I used right on the top of my cheekbone. And that way I'm all sort of coordinated. Now, if you like to use your lipstick as blush and it goes on a little bit too dark, or you need to blend it more once it's on, you just grab a damp beauty blender. And it'll just blend nicely until you get the color that you want. So let's see my mirror back here. Yep, that's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now let me get this off my hand, and I'm going to see if I can find that color corrector here without causing an avalanche of products. And I'll answer any questions anybody has as soon as I pull this out. I ordered one. The avalanche has started. I ordered one in a peach, I believe, and one in a green. Here we go. So I stuck this dirty thing on the back of my phone and it shows. Oh, thank you. Yes, yes. Yeah, when we get to be a certain age, all of our makeup does change. I look like your mom. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. That is a beautiful compliment. And yes, rest in peace for mom. Hopefully she's with my dad and they're having fun. Okay, so I stuck this on here. It's very dirty because it's my phone cover. But if you're not familiar with a color wheel, this is how you figure out what colors you're going to use. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Deborah. So this is going to show you kind of what color you'll use to you're really canceling out colors on your face. So if you have kind of bluish, purplish hues in the middle here, or even kind of browns, the idea is you'll choose the color that you have that's the problem, and the opposite side of the color wheel will tell you what color will kind of make it disappear. So in my case, I have a little bit of blue, it's not bad, and I have some red. So for red, you want to use green. That's an eyeshadow. Nope. Red, you want to use green, and then for that blue, you want to use like a peach. All right, so here's my peach. And here's my green. And these are very specific for your perfect skin tone. So if you're interested in trying these, I will happily provide you with a link so that you can get color matched. Now, we really only need a tiny, tiny bit. This brush is way too big, but I'm going to use my big concealer brush and try to show you how you do it. So luckily, I have a little red spot right there that I can show you very quickly how this works. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of that, and it's just the tiniest, tiniest bit. That's probably way too much. And then anywhere I have redness that's showing, I'm just going to barely dot that. And if I do it right, it's going to disappear. So, and I've got too big of a brush, so let me see if I can find a different brush. Use an eyeshadow brush. Hold on just a moment. Let me get it together. So you can also use your micellar water for quick washing of the brush. So I just washed my brushes yesterday. Gave them a nice clean. If you don't wash your brushes every week, now's a good time to start, just so you don't get nasty eye infection or something. All right, now that brush is pretty darn clean. Now this is just my eyeshadow smudgy brush, but it seems like the perfect size for this because you really want to just put it in the one spot, which I failed to do before. Now if you just put it in the one spot, it really does disappear. Let me rub that off. I'm going to try that again. Just that one little tiny. And yeah, I think it works. I think it works nicely. So I'll use the green anywhere that I have redness that I don't like. I might actually even be able to use it on some of these little spots I have. It's not the right color for that, but I do have a lot of redness. All right, let's try the other color. Let's try the peach for in my eye. Just gonna rub that off. So now there's a little bit of the peach. And I'm just gonna go into my inner eye. Now the day that I used this before, I put it in there and I just watched it. I watched it all day to see how it acted, to see if it would crease and if it would move. And it did pretty darn well. So I really need to play with it a little bit more to get it down perfectly. But it's nice. It's a nice color corrector. This is probably my favorite at this point. And I think these were like I don't know, probably 15 bucks. 15 bucks a piece. But look at the brightness. So I'm going to take it a little bit under right there. And it's not like your concealer at all. It actually color corrects. And it's not as heavy. It's not as heavy as your concealer. So without going crazy, I'll try it a little bit out here. So I don't know if you get that redness out here like I do. I think that's definitely something that would work, especially for a minimalist. If you're a minimalist, I think if you've got the right color, that would really be nice for dark circles. Because this, you really don't have to put a concealer over. Remember before when I said, you know, if you get a color corrector, if you get one from the drugstore, you're going to have to put a color over it because it's just going to sit there on your face looking really bad by itself, and you're going to have to go in with a color over it. But this seems to be a different ball game, so I think it's good. I'm going to try a little bit of the green just around my nostrils where I get a little red right in here, and that was way too much, but it really does a nice job. So I'll be playing with that more in the future. If that interests you, just let me know. Clean up a little bit there. All right. Final questions? Any final questions? Comments? Complaints? No. So hi. Okay. Your face is round and cheeky. How should blush be applied so it doesn't look like a red blob? All right. So if your face is round, then there's a whole different way of doing your makeup compared to mine. So if your face is round, you're going to want to probably bring your blush up a little bit. And mine, I've kind of tapered off in a downward motion. Everything on me, I like to go in a swooping up motion. But if I had a rounder face, which I have because I've lost a lot of weight, and I will hopefully continue losing weight. So, but when it was rounder, I actually would use it a little bit up higher, and then I wouldn't swoop it downward. Follow your cheekbones. That's going to be your best bet. Follow wherever your cheekbone is. Like mine is right there. And then try putting your blush on the cheekbone, right on the cheekbone, and then see how that looks. And of course, you can send me a photo of your face shape. You can send me a photo of your face on Instagram, and I can see exactly what you're talking about too, and maybe give you a better idea of what to do there. So you are so welcome for demoing the color corrector. Yeah, I've bought a bunch, and you know, they just sit here. But the problem with a lot of them is, like I said, that they just crease up, and so we're always looking for the best thing that's not going to crease up, in my case. And I love it when people say, you know, what's the best this or what's the best that. To me, there is no best. Most things there are not a best. It's what you prefer. So whatever you prefer and whatever works for you. I have very few bests. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm rambling on too long, and be looking for that short video tomorrow on the facelifting device, because I'm excited about that. I don't know a lot about it yet, but it's supposed to increase collagen in your face, and I'm hoping to increase some collagen in my top lip and maybe work on some jowls and down here. And they also sent me the thing for your eyes, so I'm really excited about that. And it takes some time to get it going, but I will be posting probably on a weekly basis on how that goes to see if it really works. So I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.